Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
All right, everyone, get your binoculars out because we're bird watching. Please welcome Denise Hausler and Dr. Michael Womack from the Botanical Gardens. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the Birdiest Festival. Tell me, we've talked about this before, but why is Corpus Christi such a hot spot for bird watching?
Well, we are in the, April is the spring migration, so that's when most of the birds are doing it, and we are right in the pathway of the busiest flyway, so you got a heck of a chance of seeing the most species during that time frame, so April's a perfect month to have it.
All right, so our airplanes might not be coming in and out as much as these beautiful birds. And what are some of the birds that we can expect to see at the festival?
You'll see a lot of the different ones that migrate through. The warblers are a big one. You also get some of the painted buntings and stuff. And then, of course, we have our local shorebirds,
Right.
which a lot of people from different states don't get to see it. We're used to the roseate, but they're not. Orioles also will be coming through at the same time.
What are these?
That's a Baltimore Oriole.
Oh, so beautiful. And this little guy?
We're going to get a test on the birds. That is a black-crowned night heron.
Okay, and these are actually stunning photos, so I'm assuming these are taken by professionals who are very passionate about getting these. What about this bird?
That is the painted bunting. That is the one everyone loves because of all the bright colors that you see on him.
And where could you find one of these?
You can find these. We have 17 different field trips that we're offering to different areas of the coastal bend, some on some ranches. You can see them in a lot of the local parks, and painted buntings are one of the ones you can actually see at your feeders in your backyard if you set them up. Yes,
okay, well, we need to know what exactly to put in those feeders. That's another segment. We'll put those together. But it's really, you know, some of these I've lived here my entire life and I've gone without seeing, although I'm not the most observant person. But what is it? Is it the climate, the habitat, the combination of the two, the fact that we have beach land and ranch land that they can migrate to and from?
It's definitely a combination of the habitats that you have. As long as you can offer them food and water and safety for sleep and nesting, then we have the perfect combination with everything right here on our coastal bend.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing we do a good job at is coexisting with our birds here in the coastal bend, because even the seagulls are like coming up to us. So like, you got any leftovers? So we're very excited for this festival. It's a very big deal, and I think the more guests that we have on to talk about birds, the more we realize that we really are a central location in the U.S. for bird watching, for photography, and for being able to learn more about these, especially the whooping cranes, which we've talked about on the show before. So tell me, who comes to these festivals? Of course, photographers and things like that.
You get a lot of photographers, a lot of different birders. You know, we've got people from various states right now, Washington, New York, got a couple from Canada actually coming down to the festival. We offer such a large diversity of birds for people to see that they're all excited about coming down, so it really appeals to everyone. But our local birders need to really realize what we're offering also, because you get access to some areas that we don't normally get access to on a normal day.
During the festival? During the festival,
so you mentioned
17 different locations?
17 different field trips, yes.
Amazing. And so how does that work throughout the festival?
Well, I was going to say also, there's a lot of people that aren't birders, but they're kind of interested, like you see birds and it's like, but I want to learn more. And I think it's a great chance for you to come out, go to a seminar, learn a little bit about them, but also to go to some of these field trips and sit with some of these other birders that are more experienced. They love to tell you what you're seeing, and so they're going to help you along that process. So that's one of those things that I think that we often forget as locals, because it's like, oh, I'm not a birder, I don't need to go there. No, it's the perfect opportunity, and it's in your backyard.
And clearly, I was going to ask you next, but you can see here it's kid-friendly, a great opportunity for the kids to get intrigued about.
Yes, it gets them excited about nature. It gets them seeing things. They get to use binoculars for the first time possibly and see birds, but you don't always have to have any fancy equipment to go birding. Sometimes you can just go on the trip and just go. Birders love to share. They love to show you what they learn. They love to show you how you can learn things in the field. So it's very good for beginners and for people who've been birding for years, because you get to see lifers on your list.
Exactly, and see it in real life, which I think we get so used to, like, oh, all this information is on the internet, we'll just watch a YouTube video. Way different from coming and having the actual experience with you all. And you mentioned, and it was, we saw in a few of the photos, you have some speakers. Who was your keynote speaker this year?
Our keynote speaker this year, we were lucky enough to get David Sibley. He's a renowned author and illustrator. He's written, I don't know how many books, 5. But he's done a lot of books. He's considered close to almost the James Audubon of birding. He's very, very popular. His work is is incredible to watch, that he can actually draw all of this. And he's going to be our keynote speaker, and you also can go on a birding trip with him.
Oh, nice. Okay. And is this festival open to the public? If so, what is the cost to attend?
The basic registration is a $35 registration fee. That gets you access to the festival, where we have the vendor tent, access to the botanical gardens during the festival. There is a raptor show that they can attend. You'll also, it gets you admission into the keynote. You also can attend presentations and workshops. So there's a lot that your $35 will cover.
A lot of bang for your buck. And you know, it kind of reminds me of golf. It seems like one of those hobbies that's just so relaxing, kind of great way to ease the stress and just look out. And it's a pleasant surprise when you do see one of these rare birds, or especially the more colorful, beautiful ones that you don't see every day. So that's really cool, very affordable. And so you mentioned the field trips. Those are really, really interesting. How does that work? Is there a schedule? Do you kind of pick and choose which ones you'll go on?
Yes, there is a schedule. If you go to the website, you'll see there's a schedule of what trips are on each day, and you can pick which trip you want to go on, and you can time all of your trips so that you can get the most for your stay here. Okay,
great. And do you have any suggested areas or trips to plan for the beginners specifically?
The King Ranch is, of course, you know, a wonderful trip to go on. We offer 3 different tracks on the King Ranch that we have access to, and the guides that you go with on the King Ranch are wonderful because they can help you spot things that you might not see on your own. Port A is also a really good one, the Port A trip and all, and then we do have a skimmer boat trip also. Fun. That will take you out, and you get to see different rookeries and stuff that you normally wouldn't see because you'd be on land.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I swear I learned so much on this show. I hope you guys get as much from it as I do. But let's go over the details one more time. You want to make plans to attend the Birdiest Festival. You can check out birdiestfestival.com. It's birdwatching field trips, a globally known keynote speaker, great for the kids to come and learn. It's April 22nd through 26th, so you have plenty of time to plan for it. Put it in your calendar now. Set a reminder and go look at those details.
But you need to really register now because those field trips are starting to fill up. If you want the best field trips, you need to go on and go ahead and register now.
Now is the time. Okay, thank y'all so much. And next time we got to talk about the bird feeders because I want that bird in my backyard. Okay.
There you go.
You're watching Coastal Living